Hi everyone, Rick Bray with Broomtown Gabosies, and our tech team recently found some new updates and features with these Dell interactive screens that are showing up in your classroom. We wanted to make sure we shared that with you. Now, today I'm going to be demonstrating this on a Dell 86-inch interactive screen, but all of these features work on the 75-inch screens that are being installed in your classrooms. I just checked that out to make sure. So basically what we're finding out here is there are some dots on the screens. And I'm going to admit, I've seen them, but I just kind of took them for granted. Maybe you've already played with them. But what I want to look at specifically, you'll see on the right and left sides of the screen, there are two dots that look a little bit like this image that I'm putting in. The other one that we want to bring up is down at the bottom of the screen, right above the Dell logo, there are three little dots that look a little bit like this picture. And they each do some pretty cool things. And we're going to look at those right now. I want to start with the three dots that are on the bottom of the screen. When I tap or touch those three buttons, you'll see a little menu pops up. And there's some icons that show up there. And the most right-hand one is an X. That lets me take that menu down. That's going to be an important thing as we look at these on-screen menus because we're going to see they're all touch active menus. I don't need the remote to get me through them. I can use the remote, but I don't need it, which makes your time more efficient. However, simply tapping doesn't make the menu go away. You want to make sure you click those X buttons to make it go away. But let's take a look at what all these different icons do as we go from left to right. The first is an X. Now, what that does is that mutes your screen. Whoops. You'll see it makes my screen go black. Your screen may be set to a white background. That's the default setting. And I'm going to show you how to change it over to a black background. It'd be really nice if we could do maybe a custom color, but that's not available right now as far as we know. So it's set to be white. We can change it to black. And again, to make that go away, to take that screen mute off, I just tap the three buttons if needed and tap the X again and it comes back. The next button in line, this is something a lot of our teachers have been asking about, so very excited to be able to share this with you, is a pause button. When I tap on that pause button, that does the same thing. Your projectors may have had a freeze screen option. It's a little tricky to tell here. Maybe I can insert another video later. But the idea is if I change my screen that's feeding this one, you won't see it here. This is kind of taking a static image. It's freezing the image as it is so that I can work on my other screen, set things up. And when I want to unfreeze it, just tap on the three dots if that menu is not already there and tap the play button and it goes back to a live image. So I'll see if I can put something in to show you that one. The third option is a little rectangle with a arrow pointing down, and that gives us what looks to be like a reachability feature. If you're familiar with that in iOS, and Android may have something that's similar to that. I just don't have experience with that one, but that's not what it is. We'll talk about what that feature is later. It's pretty cool, so stick around. Teaser. The fourth option in line, the three little dots, that's going to bring up my color setting presets, which allow me to basically filter the color of the screen. I could say like comfort view, and you might be able to tell the screen changed a little bit its color, or I could say like multimedia, and it's changing the color pattern of the screen. I'm going to say for the most part, you're probably all set going with just the standard color palette for that one, but feel free to play around and see what works best for you and your students. The next option in line is your input source. So I can, again, I used to have to like go through the remote and do this. I can just tap these to change the input source. But again, keep in mind, touching doesn't make this go away. We have to click that little X to make it disappear. And finally, this part I really like, here is the on-screen menu for this TV. Again, this is the Dell 86, so it might be a little bit different, but everything we're looking at in this video is going to be the same on a 75-inch monitor. Big thing I want to bring up is this personalize, right? Again, this is all touch active. When I go to personalize, this is where I can say monitor sleep. I can disable that so that it doesn't go to sleep. It just stays on. That may be something that you want in your classroom. Here is the screen color, right? The screen off color, excuse me. This is where I can set it between white and black, that mute, right? So if I set it to white, when I do the screen mute option, whoops, excuse me, we have to X that out. Now when I do the screen option, it's white. But that may be harsh on our students' eyes, so maybe we want to have it be black instead. And then wake to touch, that's a really nice thing. That means, if your computer goes to sleep, you can touch the screen and that will cause your computer to wake back up. So all some really, really awesome features that are accessible from those bottom 3 buttons. But let's talk about the 2 that are on the side, the 2 buttons here. That's that drop down we saw, right? And either the left side or the right side will both do that. And again, this sort of looks like a reachability where maybe if we have someone who's shorter that has a hard time reaching the top, we can do that. But here's the cool part. I was amazed when this was shared with me by our tech team. This is a different input feed. So that means perhaps you could have your computer showing down here, and I could have a document camera up here. Or if I had 2 separate computers plugged into this, I could show one computer screen here and one computer screen up on the top. Now, we are looking into seeing if there's a solution to split the screen left and right instead of top and bottom. We haven't found it yet, but we're going to keep searching for that one. And I can set how far this screen drop is. Again, from that menu at the bottom, the 3 dots, in the screen menu, here it is, your screen drop down level. I can set it to drop 1/3 of the screen, half the screen, or 2/3 of the screen. But there you go. Those are some awesome new features that we wanted to make sure we shared with you with these Dell interactive screens. As always, if you have any questions about the screens or anything else ed tech related, please feel free to drop me an email at rbray@btboses.org. And as always, thank you for watching.